Πόπερ είναι ένας από τους μεγάλους φιλοσόφους του αιώνα μας. Έχει ασχοληθεί με πολλούς τομείς της φιλοσοφίας, όπως είναι η αρχαία φιλοσοφία, όπως είναι η πολιτική φιλοσοφία, όπως είναι η μεταφυσική, αλλά το κύριο ενδιαφέρον του, εκεί όπου η δική του συμβολή αποτέλεσε μια ανεπανάληπτη τομή στη φιλοσοφία, είναι η επιστημολογία, δηλαδή η φιλοσοφία της επιστήμης. Αυτός ο τομέας του ενδιαφέροντος του είναι και εκείνος που αποτελεί κατά κάποιον τρόπο τον αρμό που συνδέει αυτήν του τη φιλοσοφία με όλους τους άλλους τομείς φιλοσοφίας με τους οποίους έχει ασχοληθεί.
Karl, we are here in Delphi.
Wonderful.
We are very glad to have you here in Greece, and I would like to talk about certain points in your philosophical theory and also in your theory of the open society. Let's start from the latter. I think that you should be glad that after the fall of the Berlin Wall and the disintegration of the communist system, there are practically no totalitarian societies, or totalitarian societies are on the way out, and to a certain extent your idea of the open society seems to be adopted, seems to be accepted by many people that we wouldn't have guessed so far that they would have accepted it. What have you got to say to this?
I think, especially in political matters, an optimist. But I think you are too optimistic. I don't see at all that China is in any way affected by the breakdown of the Soviet communism, to take one thing. I personally, I must point out, I am almost 91 years old, and I have been really thinking about these matters since the First World War. And in my opinion, the Marxists are unteachable. This is so difficult to eradicate. As you know, with my book, I've tried to eradicate it for 50 years.
Yes.
And
your book on the open society.
yes,
But your book on the open society was not explicitly against Marxism. It was against any form of closed society and any form of theory connected with it.
the second volume of the book
Yes.
is almost entirely against Marxism.
Marxism and Hegelianism.
And Hegelianism, because Marxism is also Hegelianism.
Yes.
I can only say one has to be very modest in one's expectation about arguing with Marxists.
Yes.
I think I have done so, and perhaps I can remember perhaps a few people who, perhaps 5 or 6, who were converted, but what are 5 or 6 people?
Yes, 5 or 6 people sometimes can make a lot of difference if they influence other people's minds. But to come back to what you said about intellectual modesty, I, as your former student, I think that I learned this in your seminars, to be intellectually modest. Would you say, to go back to another theory of yours, that your philosophy of science also presupposes an attitude of modesty, and to a certain extent something of what in Greece we call the Socratic ignorance, that we start from the fact that we don't know anything. Would you have said that?
Yes. I am an admirer of Socrates. I must first make this confession. And I believe that the apology of Socrates, that is to say, the apology written by Plato as the apology of Socrates, I think it is the most beautiful